Fuck that. I'm going back inside. The hell is this world coming to? Rats just running across the damn street.
Man. Well, apparently the truck hauling the meat to the local Arby's must have jackknifed outside, and there's rats everywhere. Which brings up a good point. It reminds me of this game that just released that no one heard of, that just flew under the radar, out of nowhere. This game called A Plague Tale: Innocence. This is by far one of the most interesting games I've played in a while. I mean, you've got an aspect of it being almost like a stealthy adventure game with you and your brother, with the nice little aspects of rat hordes, similar to the zombie hordes you would see in World War Z. Well, is this game worth a damn? Should people be playing this game? Have you even heard of this game? Well, stay tuned to my epic review of A Plague Tale to find out. Hello everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing A Plague Tale: Innocence. It was developed by Asobo Studios and published by Focus Home Entertainment and was released on May 14th of 2019 on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. It does have a very short update patch when you first install the game, but nothing that I really noticed seemed to really take that much or that much time to do at all. It is an adventure stealth game following Amicia and her brother Hugo as they fight to survive the Black Death and the first phase of the 100-Year War in France in 1348. Now, stealth is recommended for most of the areas, and by using Amicia's sling, you can launch rocks to divert enemies' attention away from you, and you can also use it to complete puzzles by breaking loose items so they can drop, like everything from fire to making crates that drop that you can push around and use to get through the puzzles of these areas. You can also get headshots on your enemies with the rocks that you use with your slings to kill them as well, and also use pots that you can throw to distract them as you slink through like tall grass and flowers to avoid them noticing you. Now, the other main mechanic with this game is the giant rat hordes, and you pretty much have to survive by solving survival puzzles. Basically, you'll go into an area, you'll have to use a rock, drop a fire pit, light it up, be able to use that to keep the rats away, because the rats in this game don't like fire. And later on, you can use craftable items that you create, like stink bombs that will attract the rats, fire extinguishers, which you can use to put out torches of your enemies that make the rats attack them, and it's all used to progress and stop the knights who are after you, trying to kill you and your brother. Now, you have basic commands for your brother Hugo that allow you to, at certain points, by pressing a button tap, make him stay put or do a certain item that's contextual. It'll pop up on screen and say, oh, I can't fit through here, so you can send your brother Hugo through like small areas to open doors for you and stuff like that. And later on in the game, you get split apart, and you do get to play as Hugo, and he has a little bit different aspects than his sister. In fact, that he cannot use any weapons, but he does have the ability to control the rats and also squeeze through tiny holes. And as you progress through near the end, when you join back up with your sister, it has it to where you end up actually having to combine all these different mechanics in order to get through these puzzle areas. Now, a lot of them are fairly decent areas. They're not like open world areas, but they are big enough that allow for different ways for you to get through to distract the enemies by like throwing your rocks at things that glow in the background to get them to walk away from you. Once you get to the part with the rats, you got to be very careful, because the rats AI, since there's up to 5,000 rats at a time on screen, you have to make sure to use your fire and everything else in your inventory in order to keep the rats away from you and pretty much get them to do what you need to do. Sometimes you'll have enemies you just can't get to, and they'll kill you if you get near them, but you can actually lure the rats over there and the rats will eat them for you, which is pretty cool. And later on you get some pretty neat aspects with Hugo being able to control the rats as well. I mean, you can't like actually go like, hey rat, go there, but when you get there you'll know what I mean. Now, the overall plot of this game, I'm not going to get into the details. It's a really good story over involving the fact of this, sister and her younger brother just trying to get to the correct location to survive the fact of the plague, these rats, and these soldiers that are out to kill you. And it's a very narrative-heavy story. And as you go through, you'll find that, with these puzzles, you will die a lot, but the load times aren't really that bad. And the checkpoint system seems to be pretty fair. You have a little box that'll appear in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen to let you know when you've actually made it to like a checkpoint. And as you progress through, you can upgrade your character with a rather limited, simplistic crafting system. Because along the way, there's collectibles you pick up and items like materials that you pick up. And once you get to a certain little table, you can use it to upgrade everything from the amount of pockets you have to hold more materials, to upgrade the overall strength of your sling that allows you to actually do more damage, be more quiet, and stuff like that. So it's nothing really earth-shatteringly complex when it comes to its crafting mechanic. In fact, it's kind of a bare-boned one. But considering the overall plot of how this game is, it does make sense with it, because this is basically a stealth-oriented puzzle-type game, where you have to get around these guards, get around through all these hordes of rats and everything. And it is actually, some of the puzzles can be quite head scratchers, because a lot of times, like with the fire, you may have torches and stuff, but sometimes you'll have to light a stick on fire, and the sticks burn out rather quickly. So you got to make sure you know what you're doing. So in combination of using your sling to throw a rock up to knock like a piece of wood down that you can then light on fire with your stick before it goes out, to find another stick to light on fire, to be able to get through a big giant horde of rats, end up using a stink bomb to attract the rats over to an area that you can actually get some guards to go to get them killed. It's actually not really overly complex, but it's deep enough to where it does have some decent head scratching moments where you have to really think it through, because the rats are just vicious. I mean, honestly, the AI of the rats, it's just a horde mechanic with them, but there's so damn many of them. If you even move slightly too far out of any sort of light, you're pretty much dead. They will gobble you up, no problem. Now, there are a lot of parts with the people that you fight that you can actually outrun them. You can actually trick them by throwing an item, and even if they do spot you, you can actually generally run with the R2 trigger button, with Hugo, and actually escape them for the most part. If you don't, they'll end up killing you and you'll reload a checkpoint. But it's not really anything that's going to be too difficult in you figuring out as you go through this adventure. Now, there has been certain parts where you do have boss battles, and the boss battles do consider, you have to think about it, like there are a lot of people that have armor, and you have to whittle away their armor, knocking them off with your rocks before you can actually do like a headshot to actually kill them. Now, you can actually, like I said, kill the enemy guards with headshots as long as they don't have armor on. If you have like a pure, straight view at their head, you can crack them in the skull, crack them in the dome with a rock pretty hard and kill them, and then you don't have to deal with the guards. I mean, there are several other areas where it's pretty much you just running from people that can be quite stressful. You'll get to a locked door. You have to have Hugo going through an opening to unlock the door while the people are sneaking up on you to kill you. So it can be kind of nerve-wracking, and the AI isn't really the best. I mean, the way these guards actually see you on the screen, you'll see like it'll glow on the corner of your screen to let you know in what direction the guards are, and you'll have like a little red diamond icon that lets you know if it's filled up in red, if they've spotted you or not. And then from that point, either you got to run, hopefully get it far enough away to hide to try to survive. Hands down, this game is friggin' gorgeous. My God, the lighting effects, the ray lighting, the overall texture detail on this game is just fantastic. I mean, there are some instances with the lip syncing is a little bit off, and some of the facial animation seems a little robotic, but for the most part, their animations and the graphics are so well done in this game. The fact that also you can play it in 3 different languages, so if you want them to speak in English and they kind of have a French accent they will, or you can have them speaking French or German. I forget what other languages, which I thought was really cool. Or you could just have the subtitles in that language as well. And it is a very gory, it is a violent game. It's a very, very heartwarming tale of survival and the fact of the matter of just the struggle of you and your younger brother Hugo, and the turmoil you have to go through not only to escape these guys trying to kill you, but also escape the damn rat hordes as you progress through this game. Now, this game will take anywhere from 10 to 15 hours, so it is a pretty decent long adventure, and you have a lot of fun in just exploring the levels, picking up items, the collectibles, doing your crafting, and progressing the story until you get to the end. At a cheaper price, it's not a full price title. You can get this from anywhere from $39.95 to $45 brand new. So honestly, and this is a physical release title, and it is rather rare. There are a lot of places that don't have too many copies of this game. So if you happen to see it, I highly recommend, if you like puzzle games with a really heavy focus on stealth aspects, I can honestly say pick up a Plague Tale. Honestly, you're probably not going to be able to find it in a red box. You're probably not going to really find it that often, because for whatever reason, this game was not publicized at all. It slipped underneath the radar of many, many people, and it turns out it's a really, really good game. It pulls on your heartstrings. It's got a good amount of challenge to it. It's not really too wonky. The graphics are fantastic. The mechanics with the rat hordes are very well done. And in the end, this is an intriguing title that came out of nowhere that I can highly recommend. And for being 10 to 15 hours long, the price isn't that bad either. So if you happen to find a copy of A Plague Tale: Innocence on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or Microsoft Windows, go ahead and pick it up if you're a fan of stealth aspect games. I mean, it's not like heavy in the terms of just how deep the crafting system is and the mechanics, but hands down, this is a beautiful, gorgeous, really well playing game that will actually really make you stressed out in a lot of points, and actually make you scratch your head and figuring out how to do these environmental puzzles to escape these guards, these people trying to kill you, these hordes of people trying to burn you alive, and the damn rats. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. Please hit that like button. It always helps my channel out immensely. Leave a comment below if you've heard of this game, if you plan on playing this game, and if you actually spot this game, if you're going to get it or not. And remember, I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.